You're listening to the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast, and I'm Lou Temlett. I'm guessing you're having a good day because either you've been on the mats, are considering getting on the mats, or maybe taking your family to train. I'm so happy you're here listening or watching this episode. Please don't tap out before the end. When you want to learn, reflect, and feel a sense of calm accomplishment, start training jiu-jitsu. Well, welcome and a happy new year. I have made it back on the mats successfully. I hope you have too. And welcome to all my new listeners or watching. If you're watching on YouTube, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lou Temlett and I've been training jiu-jitsu for over a year now. I'm really enjoying it still. And I wouldn't like to say it's become an addiction, but it's a routine that really helps me stay on track with my strength and fitness. So I posted an image recently on Instagram where a year ago I achieved my first stripe on my white belt. I'm still training, still enjoying it. And actually, I've made a few significant changes to my mindset and my health over the last 12 months. In terms of mindset, some people talk about motivation and it not being kind of a real thing. Motivation comes from, I don't know, some external source, but actually to make significant change in your life, it's how you feel and interact and kind of operate as an individual human. So routine comes into play. And I know some of you have fantastic routines, waking up early in the morning, going training, getting kind of washed up and ready and working all day. And then maybe you'll train again, maybe even at lunch or in fact later on in the day, which is when I generally train. But it becomes a routine and you're factoring it into your life and it becomes a lifelong way of achieving your own personal success. So yeah, I don't really buy into the motivation that you just have to put in place a routine to keep you kind of calm and focused and all of those things that we might want in life. And I know, healthy eating and other fitness and good sleep. Actually, I track my data and I have been for the last 10, 12 years. And I've got a raft of health data. And my sleep has been appalling. I'm not sure about your sleep, but it's kind of fundamental. I've been listening to so many other podcasts recently, and sleep is really fundamental to a lot of things. I think they use it in kind of, tactical, manipulation and sleep deprivation. You can really be in a really bad place with sleep deprivation. So my routine for 2024 is definitely going to be getting more sleep. As a parent of two young children, sleep kind of, happens at random times, mostly during the night, but exhaustion often sets in prior to kind of late night due to working and various other things. So, and like I've discussed with many other friends and connections in my network, naps are great. But, getting back to routines, regular sleep, regular healthy eating, regular training and focus on, training jiu-jitsu is kind of going to keep you going. And if you start out today and book one of your free sessions. If you haven't already started training Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, go out there, contact your local school, and go and give it a go. This podcast, as you may know, if you've listened before, is really my effort to encourage more women to start training jiu-jitsu. It really has so many benefits in terms of health, wellness, mindset, community, friendships, all of those things that anyone might want in life. So, having trained over a year now, I'm still really enjoying it. Got my regular sessions where I take my family to train on a regular basis, and it it happens. There's no motivation behind it. There is just routine now, which is a really good space to be in. And learning from exceptional professors and coaches, just learning techniques and moves, and talking with other previous podcast guests. It's about training or learning something for a period of year or more. Some of these changes in life don't happen immediately. We know that. Things change. Routines don't suddenly could you claim success of a routine in 24 hours? Well, maybe if you were to repeat it 24 times, whatever it was. But routine and success, your own personal success, comes over a period of time. And why not set a year? Wrapping up for my Spotify listeners, I target or that they listen to in 2 countries. And actually, by the end of 2024, I want to be listened to in 4 countries. And that's kind of doubling my success in terms of that as a measure. So where do I want to be at the end of 2024? Let me see. I just want to keep showing up, session in, session out, on the mats. And actually, one of the things I started doing at the end of 2023 was yoga. Now, I'm not sure about you, whether you currently you train yoga or, forgive me, I've not trained or practice yoga, that's what it is, for 20 years. I know some of the moves. I know some of the phrases that we might hear on social media or on, around the place with friends mentioning a downward dog or actually, I can't remember any other moves. But it's about stretching, the core balance and tone. And whilst I found it a challenge, it felt like it was pushing me out of my comfort zone a bit. But to really benefit my skill and ability and my tenacity, I guess, on the mats when I train jiu-jitsu. So definitely I'll be thinking about more yoga, more sessions with fellow females on the mats. I keep seeing kind of additional camps and various things popping up. So, my interest and exposure to these things on social media, and you might know how the algorithms work. I mean, I know we really don't, but have an interest in something really positive to be able to start seeing all of the other events and activities that might open your mind and take you in a new direction. Obviously, still training jiu-jitsu on the mats, but yeah, end of 2024, just still showing up really, and just training more, or just training more consistently. We were consistent for the last 12 months, and I just want to continue to be consistent and actually be happy with that as well. That it's it's kind of a happy place. Yes, it's frustrating when you always get armbarred by blue belts, but it's about finding your defense and learning about those things, and just building up strength and ability to just keep going. This is the Jiu Jitsu Lou podcast with me, Lou Temlet, coming to you from the UK. When you're ready to pick up some Jiu Jitsu Lou merchandise, head over to jujitsulu.com/shop. And if you're after a discount code, sign up to my newsletter, which is right at the bottom of the website. Okay, so I've said welcome to you as new listeners or new viewers on YouTube. I would love to have more of you dropping in and having conversations with me on this podcast. Reach out to me. There's a link on my website, jujitsulu.com, and come and be my guest. Come and have a conversation about your journey in jiu-jitsu. Part of my learning is understanding other people's journeys and the successes, the challenges that they may have had, and just understanding other people's mindset and approach to training jiu-jitsu. And it's really quite enlightening to hear stories, certainly from previous guests having that experience either as a blue belt or a brown belt. Actually, I'm yet to have it feels like collecting belts, a purple belt and a black belt. So if you are a purple belt or a black belt, or even a yellow belt or a green belt, if you're in kind of the juniors within jiu-jitsu, please check with your parents first before reaching out. But it would be fantastic to have you on the show and to have a conversation about your progress, how much you love Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, because I know anyone that listens to this either does or will love Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So that's kind of it for me. I'd love to have more of you as guests. So please come on. The show is growing. Day by day, week by week. And this year, I'd really love to kind of continue with my weekly release of podcasts. It does mean setting up the studio at home here. But I was very fortunate over Christmas for my children to buy me an on-air light for Christmas. So they know what's really important to me and what I really love, and that is podcasting. So reach out, have a conversation with me. Love to get you on the show. And I may even be having some of my previous guests back on to talk about their continued journey with jiu-jitsu. We all sometimes get a bit, we have to take time off the mats. But actually watching reels and videos and YouTube with moves and techniques, I've seen some incredible moves and techniques, which I'm sure you have, and I know regularly get shared on your Instagram stories. So thank you for that. But keep learning, keep showing up. This is your time to shine in 2024, or not shine quite so much, unless you're really going for it in, sparring, whatever. But thank you so much for listening and supporting during the last part of 2023. This is only the very beginning of Jiu Jitsu Lou, and I'm really grateful for you being here and supporting this show so far. Do share it with your friends, because that would be fantastic, and I would be really grateful for you to share how good this show is. Anyway, maybe that's your opinion. I need to be an advocate for good quality audio and production. I have a fantastic podcast producer that sorts out all my video and audio. Obviously setting up the kit here at home and recording is my responsibility, but the final production is really down to an amazing organization that you will see in the show notes. Thank you, Kerr. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this relatively short episode. thank you for telling your friends about this show. And to get notified of upcoming guests and special offers, head over to jujitsulu.com and subscribe. Thanks again for listening. Catch you on the next episode of Jiu Jitsu Lu podcast.